Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be only weak, undisciplined men get addicted to porn. Well, I've got an email. This is from actually a woman. She's 22 years old, and her fiance is 27. And she says they're both big fans of my work. And so they've been together 4 years, and they were friends 4 years prior to that. So they've known each other in total about 8 years. And I guess he at some point came across my work, came across 3% Man, successfully employed it, and got himself out of friend zone. And so they've been together 4 years now. However, he apparently has an addiction to porn. And you guys may have heard me say this many times over the years that if you apply what's in my book, the woman is going to be more interested in sex than you are, which is typically the exact opposite problem that almost all men, at least all men in the West, have, and quite frankly, globally, which is they're more interested in sex and their women are. And so in this case, she's more interested in sex than he is, but the problem obviously is that he's watching porn, and so she was trying to get intimate and initiate things between them recently, and when she lifts her head up, he's flipping through porn and pictures on his cell phone, which obviously, whether you're a man or a woman, if you're in bed with your significant other and they're getting busy on you with some nice oral, and then you notice that they're on their phone, that's just not something you want to see. And so she really loves this guy, really cares about him. And it's obvious he has the power in the relationship, but we're going to go through some things here, and this dude is about to get roasted because he is being undisciplined. And so what's interesting is that women friend zone guys because, quite frankly, they do not make the women feel safe enough to be romantic and intimate with them, because on some level it evokes a fear response. And that's why women like this, in this case, back when he was acting like a total beta male, why she didn't want to date him is because she just didn't feel safe, she didn't have the feelings for him because he was not acting like a man consistently. And so he's cleaned up most of his behavior, but now he's got this porn issue that's basically, he's kind of like a sexless eunuch in the relationship. And she's only 22 years old. She's like in the prime of her life. And she also mentions that before they dated, every single one of his friends hit on her and tried to date her. And so it's not like she's an unattractive girl. I mean, this dude was carrying a torch for a long time, for 4 years, trying to get out of friend zone. Then he comes across my work, successfully implements it, and now they're engaged and everything. But he's really not even interested in sex. And if you're thinking about spending your life with somebody and you're only 22 years old and this guy's 27 and he's already not interested in sex, that's not good. Statistically, the numbers are, when you look at multi-decade long relationships where the couples are happy, sex is typically always at least 2 to 3 times a week. And when you get to the point where it's like 1 or 2 times a month, if you don't date and court your wife or your girlfriend, eventually some other guy is going to come along and do that for you. And so this guy is in the danger zone with his relationship. And especially, I'm going to say some things to the girl and about him that he's not going to like. And masculine energy grows through challenge. And so that's what I'm about to do, is I'm about to challenge him, and I'm about to challenge his manhood. And hopefully he will step up, because if he doesn't step up, then he's going to suffer the consequences of basically him wrecking his relationship. So let's go through her email. She says, "Dear Coach Corey, my fiance, male, age 27, and I, a female, age 22, are huge fans of yours. We've been together for 4 years, and we were friends 4 years before that. He credits your book to successfully getting out of the friend zone, and I thank you for getting me a 3% man of my very own." Well, he's not a 3% man yet, especially the fact after I've read this email already. He says our relation, or she says our relationship is perfect in nearly every way except one. My fiance denies me sexual intimacy 9 out of 10 times, and I initiate 95% of the time. So he's basically made you the man in the relationship. And you'll see later on, there's also something he's asked her to do, which is basically, hey, be my mommy. It's like, bro, she doesn't want to be your mommy. She doesn't want to hold your hand. She doesn't need to be the one to hold you accountable. You're supposed to be the leader in the relationship. And so if you're this early in your engagement and you're rejecting her 9 out of 10 times, it's like, that's not good. And if it's because you're addicted to porn, then you need to become unaddicted to it. It's just simply stop doing it. Because the fact that you've allowed yourself to become addicted to porn, and when your girl is going down on you, you're looking at porno on your phone, is quite frankly pathetic. That's not how a man behaves. That's an undisciplined man. That's how an incel behaves. And that's why you were stuck in friend zone for 4 years, is because you were not acting like a man consistently. And that is a protective response that women have to avoid getting involved with men who, quite frankly, are not disciplined enough, are not masculine enough, and not man enough to be the leader and lead the household, help raise children, be somebody that she can count on. She says, now let's get this obligatory statement out of the way of me proving I am not a bad-looking woman. Every one of his friends has tried to date me before we got together. We have always been semi-long distance and never had too much time alone except on the weekends. So until recently, it has not been a problem, and I have been aware of. Or let me read that because I misread that. We have always been semi-long distance and never had too much time alone except on weekends. So until recently, it is not a problem I have been aware of. I am not some crazed nymphomaniac. Not that that's a bad thing. But I'm a healthy 22-year-old, so my natural inclination is to want intimacy once a day or maybe once every other day. And if this guy's in a relationship, any man watching this in a relationship, you should not be watching porn. All of your sexual energy should be gone to your woman. You should be only having releases with your woman. If you're exclusive with her and she's devoted herself to you, she deserves all of your baby batter, and she gets to be the one to make the baby batter. She gets to be the one to choke the chicken. That's just the basics. If you're going to be in a relationship with a woman, it's up to her to blow the barrels out, or you to blow the barrels out with her, not to be doing that 5 times a day, watching porno and other things, because that's just weak and pathetic. That's not manly at all. Some dude watching pictures and videos of, quite frankly, stuff that's, a lot of it's fake and a lot of it's acting, because that's what porn is. It's totally unrealistic. And if you're whacking off so much to the point you're totally desensitized, then you have no sexual energy left for your woman. So why are you in a relationship with a woman then? You can easily be an incel that stays home and be off and watch porn and let your fiance go, and she can go find somebody who's a real man that will take care of her, because you're obviously not. And it sounds like you got yourself a good woman, because she's reaching out and writing to me instead of going and ending the relationship or trying to date somebody else behind your back. She's trying to make the relationship work. And so you should appreciate that, because if you don't get this under control, then she absolutely should ditch your ass and call off the engagement. She says, I have always known that he watched porn, and I have zero problem with it, as I watch it on occasion as well. Well, obviously it's a problem for him. I don't watch porn. I saw it when I was a kid. I saw it when I was a teenager. And something clicked with me when I started having sex. It's just like going to titty bars. I never wanted to go to titty bars. I would go because I had friends that wanted to go, but quite frankly, to me, I always felt like it was an insult to myself that if I can't get a woman, then I'm going to substitute porno or going and paying a titty dancer to give me a lap dance. To me, that was always pathetic. But It was a fun thing to do with guys. Sometimes I've taken girlfriends there, but it's like porn doesn't do anything for me. Neither does going to a titty bar, because I'm used to dating women that are sexually enticing enough that, quite frankly, I don't need any other outside stimulation. So to me, that's weakness to do those things. You other guys do what you want, but I personally just do not engage in that stuff, because I'm not going to take away my sexual attention from my girl, because that's part of your duties as a man. You're supposed to make sure at least 2 to 3 times a week, if you want your relationship to last, that you're beating up her pelvis and giving her plenty of orgasms. And if 9 out of 10 times you're rejecting her, it's like, that's just pathetic, dude. You're not even being a man. It's disgusting. However, we recently had a situation where I started to initiate while he was watching YouTube on his phone, and during the encounter I noticed he continued to watch his phone. So he's not even present when you're having sex. It's like, that's not good. It's like, come on, dude, you need to man the fuck up. Because if you don't turn this shit around, she absolutely should leave your ass and call off the engagement. She's 22 years old, dude. What are you thinking? When I popped up to see what it was, he had pulled up pictures of other women. Come on, man. Seriously. There's nothing masculine about that. He then confessed to me that he has a long-term pornography addiction and he will try to stop. He'll try to stop? No. You either stop or you don't stop. You don't try to stop. So when he says, I'll try to stop, that's basically like a guy who's like, yeah, I'm going to try to read the book 10 to 15 times. That shows me when he says, I'm going to try to stop, that what that really means is he's just not committed. He's just telling you to placate you, to get you to shut up, basically, because he doesn't have any intention of stopping. And if he has no intention of stopping, you should absolutely leave him. 22 years old. It's like she could easily find another guy at this age. And shame on you for taking up her time and doing something so weak and so pathetic like that. That's just disgusting. That's not how a 3% man behaves, bro. He asked me if I would be his accountability partner. Oh, will you be my mommy and hold my hand and tell me I'm a bad boy and not to do it? It's like, come on, dude. That's not what she's there for. You're supposed to be the man in the relationship. You're basically already trying to make her the man. In other words, you're kind of reverting back to the way you used to be when you were stuck in friend zone. And that's why you got stuck in friend zone, because you were a weak bitch back then. That's why you didn't deserve to have her. But you got my book and you started displaying the behaviors and you started being attractive as a man. And obviously she invited you into her secret worlds. But having a porn addiction and it's like basically making her beg for sex like this, it's like, there's nothing masculine about that at all, dude. But notice what she says, because I'll go back and I'll start over in this sentence. He asked me if I would be his accountability partner, to which I replied, I don't think that would work well, as policing him might cause some unintended resentment between us. Yeah, she doesn't want to be the man. You're the one with the penis. You're the one that's supposed to be the leader in the relationship. And that's what you're telling her. Will you be my mommy and tell me I'm a bad boy? Will you spank me? Come on, dude. Especially if he were to relapse in his attempts to stop. It's his responsibility to stop. It's not your job to fix him. It's not your job to save him. If he wants to stay with you, he's going to need to cut it out. Whatever he needs to do, go get therapy, go get counseling or whatever, he needs to cut it out. He needs to delete all those apps and just absolutely choose to stop doing it. You can choose to stop doing it, or you can choose not to. If he chooses to continue, then you should choose to leave his ass, because it's not going to get better. If you marry this guy and this shit continues, you're going to be in a loveless, sexless relationship, and he's going to be a shitty father and a shitty husband. That's why you stuck him in friend zone all those years ago, because he was not man enough to deserve you, to have you. That's why women stick guys in friend zone, because they don't act worthy. And now he's, in essence, in another way, reverted back to his beta male ways that got him stuck in friend zone the first time around. She says, so for the past few months, I occasionally ask if he is still watching porn regularly, and he always answers yes, to which I ask him again to try and stop. Yeah, so when he said, I'll try and stop, he's like, he had no intention of stopping. No intent. He had zero. Look at his actions. Bottom line, his actions. since it is clearly affecting his ability to be intimate with me. Yeah, if he's choking the chicken several times a day watching porno, it's like he's got nothing left for you. You can't give away what you don't have for yourself. If he's got no baby batter left because he's shooting it into Kleenexes in his office or whatever, or into the toilet in the bathroom. I had guys that worked for me back in the day when I was in real estate, and one of the guys, he would be watching porn in his office, and then he would go in the bathroom, and then he would be jerking off in the bathroom. And I was like, and then the other thing that would cause a problem is that he would be on these porn sites, and then we'd download viruses to his computer, and then the viruses would spread through our network of 40 other computers in the office and create all kinds of problems. And what finally stopped it for us was like, next time you do it and you screw your computer up or anybody else's, you're paying the IT bill. You're going to reimburse the company for whatever it costs to get these things fixed. And it magically stopped and never had any more problems after that. She said, recently, I have been spending more time with him alone, and we still do not have sex very often. Dude, you should be fucking her brains out at least 2 to 3 times a week. And if you don't start doing that, then you're not man enough to keep her. Then she should absolutely leave your ass and never give you another chance. Which she attributes to being tired and stressed. Oh, I'm tired and stressed. So in other words, he's not man enough to fulfill you. It's like, and he's 27 years old. If he's already too tired and stressed at 27, how do you think he's going to be at 37 or 47 or when he's my age? Not going to happen. He's basically telling you he's not up to the task of being your husband. That's what he's telling you. I get that getting off from porn is quicker and easier than real life intimacy. However, it is beginning to affect my self-esteem, and I think even subconsciously. Again, this is not your problem. This is his problem. And this is what happens when a guy can't get laid. It's like he resorts to this stuff. That's like when you look at OnlyFans accounts and the porn industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's much easier to jerk off to video than it is to have a real relationship. And what he's communicating every single week is he's not man enough at this point. He's chosen, I should say, not to be man enough to fulfill you. I recently brought up the issue again with my fiance, and he got angry and said he felt like I am trying to control him. Remember, this is the guy that just asked her to hold him accountable, and now he's getting mad at her. That's pathetic, dude. Just absolutely pathetic. So disappointing. I don't want him to feel like that, but I can't stop thinking about it. Well, he's going to have to stop, or you need to leave him. If he's not going to fix himself, it's not your job to be his mommy. You don't want to be his mommy. It turns your stomach and turns you off. But he needs to get this fixed, or you're going to leave his ass in the dust. Don't waste many years of your life with some guy who's already at 27, checked out basically from life and giving up on all of his dreams and his goals. He won't be a good husband, and he won't be a good father unless he gets this shit handled. So how can I solve this problem? Well, it's me or the porn, bro. It's pretty simple. That's what I would tell him if I were you. I told him if he thinks that his porn addiction really isn't affecting our sex life, then I will drop it. However, he didn't give me a straight answer. What can I do? Because deep down, he knows it is. I mean, again, whether it's porn or you're fucking 3 other girls, and you're not fucking the 4th one, you don't have any excess energy. You don't have any desire. It's like when you don't beat off, when you only give your sexual attention to your woman, it builds up rather quickly. And especially if you've got a really great girl in your life who's easygoing, easy to get along with. She's always wanting to have sex because you treat her right. You act like a man. You act like a leader. And this dude is just totally falling down and stumbling and laying on the ground like, be my mommy, be my mommy. The reality is most women, even in multi-decade relationships, will give a guy 6 to 12 months to get his shit together. And so what he is basically doing has been floundering around. I don't know how many months this has been going on, but her patience is going to wear thin, and eventually, if he doesn't stop, she's going to fall out of love and she's going to leave him and go find somebody else. Now, if she has a high character and she's a good woman, she'll break things off. She'll take some time to heal. And then when she feels ready, she'll start dating again. If she has low character, then she'll start talking to and flirting with his friends and giving out her number. And when she finds a new guy who actually is man enough to handle things, she'll dump him and then monkey branch to the other guy. But I assume because she's sticking it out with this guy and she's writing in that she's probably a really good girl, and he did good. He's got a good catch and he's fucking it up. And I'm really disappointed that I'm reading an email like this after some guy. I mean, 4 years this dude's been following me, and it's like, this is the one issue. You're gonna have to fix it, dude. There's gonna be times in long-term relationships where you're not gonna be horny. You're not gonna feel like you want to have sex, but in the back of your mind, you need to think to yourself, if you want your relationship to last, you need to be having sex at least 2 to 3 times a week. Statistically, those are the number. A bare minimum, twice a week. 2 to 3 times a week is what needs to be the goal. So even if you don't feel like it, your job as a man, it's just like exercising or working out. You don't feel like going to the gym. You always feel great after you get done with it. And it's the same thing with sex. You might not feel like having sex, but seeing your girl with a big smile on her face, dripping wet, happy, pliable, submissive, goofy, giggly, because you just made her come like a waterfall, it's like, that's going to make you feel a lot better than jerking off to porn. So it's like, come on, dude, seriously, you need to man up. And to the girl who wrote in, it's like, I would say, if you're going to go, say he does quit. I don't know when you are planning on getting married or if you have a date set, but you need to see that he is completely free of porn for at least 12 months before you schedule any wedding. I would not be planning on getting married when this shit's going on, because this is too important. You're too early in the relationship, especially with your ages, to be getting married to somebody that already is checked out, that already is not handling his responsibilities as a man in the relationship. He's acting like an incel. You don't want to be married to an incel. It's disgusting. So you need to beat up her pelvis 2 to 3 times a week, dude, or just go back to being an incel and be in friend zone while you watch some other dude ride off into the sunset with your future ex-fiance, because that's where you're headed, man. So you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.